Welcome back to my channel, Bring Peace into Your Life. We all feel worried or stressed from time to time. It's a normal part of life. But for many adults, those feelings go beyond occasional concern and become something more persistent and overwhelming. Anxiety is one of the most common mental health issues affecting adults in the UK and around the world. Yet it's often misunderstood or dismissed as just being stressed. Today we're going to look at anxiety in adults in depth, what it really looks like, how it shows up differently in our personal and professional lives, the unique challenges adults face when dealing with it, and most importantly, the strategies and support that can help manage symptoms and improve your quality of life. Let's start with looking at what adult anxiety is. Anxiety is more than just feeling nervous or worried. It's a mental health condition that causes persistent feelings of fear, apprehension, and tension, often accompanied by physical symptoms. While it can affect people of all ages, adult anxiety often presents in ways that are tied to life responsibilities and circumstances. Common types of anxiety that affect adults include generalised anxiety disorder, GAD, social anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and specific phobias, as well as anxiety related to trauma, work, or health conditions. Unlike normal stress, which usually passes once the trigger is gone, anxiety can linger for weeks, months, or longer and can interfere with daily life, relationships, and work. Physical symptoms of adult anxiety can include rapid heartbeat, shortness of breath, dizziness, muscle tension, headaches, trouble sleeping, and digestive issues. Many adults first notice these physical signs before realising they're linked to anxiety, often attributing them to ageing, illness, or just being run down. Let's look at how adult anxiety shows up in everyday life. Anxiety affects different areas of adult life in unique ways. Let's break it down. At work, adults with anxiety may struggle with decision making, perfectionism that leads to burnout, fear of public speaking or presenting, or worry about meetings, deadlines, or being judged by colleagues. Some may avoid taking on new responsibilities or opportunities for advancement, even when they're qualified. In remote or hybrid working settings, anxiety can also manifest as overthinking, communication with teammates, or feeling constant pressure to be always available. In relationships, anxiety can cause adults to overthink interactions with partners, friends, or family members, worrying about whether they're loved, valued, or if they've said something wrong. It may lead to difficulty setting boundaries, people pleasing to the point of exhaustion, or pulling away from loved ones to avoid potential conflict or rejection. For some parents, anxiety can focus on worrying about their children's health and safety or their future, sometimes to the point where it interferes with being present in family life. In daily routines, simple tasks like grocery shopping, driving in traffic, or attending social events can become overwhelming. Some adults with anxiety may develop rigid routines or avoidance behaviour to manage their feelings. For example, only shopping at quiet times, avoiding certain places, or turning down invitations even when they want to go out. Financial planning or managing household responsibilities can also trigger intense worry about the future. Linked to life transitions. Adults often face major life changes that can exacerbate anxiety. Moving home, changing careers, getting married or divorced, or becoming a parent or carer for ageing relatives. These transitions can disrupt our sense of control and stability, making anxiety symptoms more pronounced. Let's look at why adults experience anxiety. There's no single cause of adult anxiety. It's usually a combination of factors. Biological factors. So brain chemistry, genetics, and underlying health conditions can play a role. For example, conditions like thyroid disorder, heart disease, or chronic pain can increase the risk of anxiety. Hormonal changes in adulthood, such as during perimenopause or menopause, can also trigger or worsen symptoms. Past experiences. Childhood trauma, neglect, or difficult life events can leave a lasting impact, making adults more vulnerable to anxiety later in life. Even experiences that happened years ago can resurface during stressful times, contributing to feelings of fear or insecurity. Current stressors. The pressures of modern adult life, financial concerns, job insecurity, caregiving responsibilities, and global issues like climate change or economic uncertainty can all contribute to anxiety. For many adults, the weight of trying to balance multiple roles can feel overwhelming. Lifestyle factors. Poor sleep, lack of physical activity, excessive caffeine or alcohol use, and unhealthy eating habits can all worsen anxiety symptoms. Many adults prioritise work or family over their own well-being, which can create a cycle of stress and anxiety. Let's look at barriers to seeking help for adult anxiety. Despite how common anxiety is, many adults don't seek help, often due to certain barriers. Stigma. There's still a perception that struggling with anxiety means you're weak or unable to handle life. Adults in professional or leadership roles may worry that disclosing their anxiety could harm their reputation or career prospects. Many adults that I speak to with anxiety think that they just should be able to get on with things, and they tend to punish themselves for not being able to handle things and be able to get on with life. So they punish themselves for being stressed and anxious, and therefore they don't actually seek support because they feel that they would be showing their weakness. Normalisation. Many adults tell themselves that everyone feels this way, or that their anxiety is not bad enough to warrant help. They may compare their experiences to others and dismiss their own symptoms as just part of being an adult. Time and cost. So between work, family and other responsibilities, finding time for therapy or appointments can be challenging. Some adults also worry about the cost of treatment even when they have access to healthcare. Many clients that I work with will not even take time to take care of themselves, so to do self-care. So the thought of actually scheduling a regular appointment for therapy becomes overwhelming and actually can add to the anxiety and add to the stress. And that's where taking care of yourself is really important, regardless of whether you suffer from anxiety or not. Then we can look at lack of awareness. So many adults don't recognise the signs of anxiety or they mistake symptoms for other health issues. They may have tried to cope on their own for years before realising professional support could actually help them. Let's look at practical strategies and treatment. So there are many effective ways to manage adult anxiety. The key is finding what works for you. Here are some of the most proven approaches. So professional treatment. Therapy is really helpful for managing anxiety. It helps identify and change negative thought patterns and behaviours. Different types of therapy can do this for you, so you don't have to just pick one specific type of therapy, but it's about finding the right therapist for you, someone you feel comfortable with and someone you feel that you can open up with. Therapy is really important to be able to explore how you're feeling and work through why you may be being anxious, why you may have these symptoms, and if there's areas in your past or your current life that you need to look at and change. So a lot of people that I work with will have trauma from the past and they don't necessarily realise that unresolved trauma can cause anxiety and quite debilitating anxiety. And when you highlight that to someone and a client that I'm working with, it's quite evident then that actually a lot of the issues had come from maybe a traumatic experience or a loss and maybe some delayed grief. But it's very hard to see that when you're in it. So talking to a therapist and talking to someone outside your situation can really help you process what's been going on and actually recognise where the anxiety is coming from and what you need to actually look at and tackle. In some cases, medication may be needed, so antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication may be prescribed by a doctor or a psychiatrist, quite often in combination with therapy, and some people will need medication to reduce their level of anxiety so that it's more manageable and so that they can then engage in therapy and get the support that they need. Many adults find that the best results from working with both a therapist and a healthcare provider to address both mental and physical symptoms is the best way to help themselves. Then we can look at self-care strategies. So physical activity and regular exercise, even a 20-minute walk each day, can reduce anxiety by releasing endorphins and improving mood. And it can also help you just get some fresh air, get outside and blow away the cobwebs. Sleep hygiene is really important. So establishing a consistent sleep routine, creating a calm bedtime environment and limiting screen time before bed can help improve sleep quality, which in turn reduces anxiety and stress levels. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques are really helpful. So practicing deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or progressive muscle relaxation can help manage acute anxiety symptoms and build resilience over time. Reducing caffeine and alcohol and eating a balanced diet and making time for hobbies and activities that you enjoy all support your mental well-being. So really bringing self-care and taking time for self-care is very important. If you have a look at some of my other videos, I do have some guided meditation, some mindfulness music, and some videos on self-care, and that may actually help you if you have a look at those. Now I'm going to talk you through a couple of practical tools that you can use. So grounding techniques. When anxiety feels overwhelming, simple techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 method is really helpful. So name 5 things that you can see around you, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And that can help bring you back into the present moment and bring you back into your body. Setting boundaries and learning to say no to extra responsibilities, setting limits on work hours, and making time for yourself are crucial for managing anxiety long term. Journaling is very helpful. So writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you identify patterns in your anxiety and process difficult emotions. And it can also just help you get stuff out of your head. So doing a thought dump and just putting everything onto paper can be really helpful. If it's not you that's suffering from anxiety, but you know an adult who is suffering from anxiety and who is struggling, your support can make a big difference. Try to listen to the person without judgment and validate their feelings. Avoid telling them to calm down or to stop worrying because that just doesn't help. Encourage them to seek professional help, but don't pressure them. Recovery is a personal journey, but it's about being there for them and supporting them. Offer practical support like helping with tasks when they're feeling overwhelmed or going to appointments with them if they would like some support and company. Take care of your own mental health too. If you're supporting someone else, it can be challenging and it's important to prioritise your own well-being while supporting others. Anxiety in adults is a common and manageable condition, but it doesn't have to be something you live with alone. Whether you're experiencing anxiety yourself or supporting someone who is, remember that seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. Recovery takes time, and what works for one person may not work for another, but with the right support and strategies, it's possible to manage symptoms and live a full, meaningful life. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please share it with anyone you might think would benefit from it. And remember, you're not alone in this. There is hope. If you've got any comments about how you handle your anxiety or how you support other people who you know who have anxiety, please put them in the comments. It's always good to learn new strategies and new ways to help yourself and others. I hope you've liked this video. It was lovely making another video for you, and I hope it has helped, and I will see you in the next one.